Oh, come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome to the service. Emergency abortion extravaganza service. I initially put this as anti-abortion people are brainwashed, and then I was in the shower and I was like, I just imagined I'd get like a call from Steven being like, Amish, it's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. But no, we're just here to have a spiritual discussion, people. We're just gonna have a little chit chat. I love how people are so inside the comments early. Like, Matthew, there is no way to justify killing a baby. You're brainwashed, bud. Just cool it. And then you got my man, Maddie. Without even hearing any arguments, get funky with the music. Yes, get funky with the music. And high vibration and high vibration. Very good. Very good. Oh, more high vibrations and high vibration and raise the vibration. There it is. That's our digital ashram right there. That's the Church of Love and Kindness. I mean, in our church, we believe that this whole overturning Roe v. Wade, I do believe it's a step backward, actually, and a great sin. We should talk about it. My man, Maddie, says, oh, man, a Canadian saying anti-abortion people are brainwashed. Got to hear you out on this one. I know you're being sarcastic. You think I don't know? Tom Glod is not sarcastic. He says, what's up, everyone? Tom, what's up, man? Thanks for coming. I got a yes and a yes from this guy. Kenzie Star is here. I'm trying to be more spiritual, and I like your content. Kenzie Star, thank you for coming. Welcome to the service. Get funky with the music. That's our first spiritual practice, actually, is dancing. So, you know, if you want to get more spiritual, you know what the Sufis say God is? They say God is like the sound of good music. When it hits your ear, the feeling you get, that is God. Dance and high vibration. Yes. Very good. Very good. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the service, drip service. Drip, drip, rip, and dip. Had a great episode of Cult Rehab this week. We're doing some great karmas, actually. The Cult Rehab programming is very tight. Dantalian Jones is going to come back Sunday. Dantalian Jones, author of Building Your Cult, be here on Sunday, 6 p.m. That's going to be a great episode. Can't wait for that. Tom Glod, what's up, dude? Someone who is heart-centered, I know, based on your messages that you sent me, Tom. I know you are heart-centered, too. Thanks for coming. Oh, yeah. Can you believe just YouTube free music? They have this song? 75 and Lower by DJ Williams. What a great track. You can just get it out of the YouTube creator library. That's us for us. We're here in the community, in the culture, in the community. They just give it for us. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to serve y'all. We got to serve the community. Let's see. What should we do this? We should do, let's say, pro-choice arguments by... Man, that's what I'm going to call it. That's what we're going to call this episode. Pro-choice arguments by men. Got a couple of great clips that I'm going to show you guys. Got a couple of great clips. I'm not even going to do the arguments. I'm going to let the men do it. One of them is Donald Trump. Surprise twist. He's not even pro-abortion. You dum-dums. I know. It's so silly. I got a great clip of him. Great clip of Donnie T. He's not saying he's not anti-abortion. He basically says it's not good for the party. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. Get funky with the music, people. Settle in. Got a lot of people in comments here. People are already getting riled up. People I know are already getting riled up out there, getting mad. Matthew, I know you are, my man, Maddie. I know you're getting steamed up, aren't you? Just cool it. We're going to have a nice discussion. That's why I changed the name, by the way. Initially, the name of today's episode was Anti-Abortion People Are Brainwashed. But then I said, you know what? Just cool it. This is a church of loving kindness. Unconditional loving kindness. We have to bring the culture together. There's enough things tearing us apart, people. Do you see what hatred does? Negativity, it tears the whole society apart. And that's what even Donald Trump is saying about this overturning Roe v. Wade thing. He's even not fully on board with it. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But first clip I want to show you, actually. I thought this was some great karmas by Mr. David Portnoy. The owner of Barstool Sports. And I think it's great. When men stand up and let people know, and it lets the whole community know that, like, we're not standing for it anymore. Listen to you don't want to listen to a feminist, I bet. You don't want to listen to a feminist, I bet. Well, can you listen to David Portnoy? He's probably your hero. Let's hear what he has to say about overturning Roe v. Wade. Let's take a listen.
Emergency press conference. Roe versus Wade just got overturned. Let me start by saying this is a Dave Portnoy press conference. This doesn't reflect Barstool, all right? Barstool is 300 whatever people. They all may think certain ways. This is just me.
I like that. That's very loving kindness of him. 2 loving kindnesses that he's already done. What a great analysis that we're doing. First of all, he said emergency press conference. He cares about the culture. He cares about the community. And I'm sick of people on the anti-abortion side pointing at people on the pro-choice side and saying, you just kill babies. You just want to kill a baby. You just wake up in the morning, you want to kill a baby. Just cool it. There's other factors here. You can be good for the society and not, you know what I mean? It's a moral complexity. So first of all, he says, no, but it's an emergency. That's great. Then he also says, which I also like, very loving kindness approach, kind of what we're doing here. He's not alienating. He's not saying the whole company's with me or you're fired. No. He said, there's a whole company here. Some of them are. He probably knows that, like, so many in his staff and so many of his fans are anti-abortion, but he still said, I don't care. I say what is in my heart. This is an emergency, and I will tell the whole culture. Let's hear it.
How I feel like I have to speak on this issue. I already talked about it a little bit. To me, this is just pure insanity. Pure insanity. We are going backwards in time.
This is true. And this is why I say, too, that it is a great sin that we are committing. This great project of America, it has to always be moving closer and closer to God, people. And this is a step back. You took a step back. Let's continue.
We are literally going backwards in time.
Yeah.
It makes no sense how anybody thinks it's their right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I just don't get it. To take away the ability to make informed decisions on how they want to live their lives is bananas. I know people will be like, well, no, it's a constitutional issue. You're just giving it to the states. Well, like what? 20 states are saying they're going to overturn it right away.
Already, I feel like it's too much technicalities. You know, honestly, this discussion, we should keep it spiritual, I think, for us, but let's keep going through it.
And what if you're poor in that state and you can't go to another state and things like that? It's just nuts to me. Not to mention the same people are saying, you know, they want to take it away and overturn it are also like, got to protect guns because of the Constitution. At what point do you look at the Constitution and say, hey, this was written by people who had slaves? Maybe not everything is exactly to a T in the Constitution. Like a million years from now, you're going to use the document written in the. It's just nuts. In what world? The world evolves. People evolve. Technology evolves. You got to evolve. You can't stick with this document and look at that and be like, that's the end all be all. It's literally crazy pills. This is coming from somebody who consistently is like, the U.S. is the best country in the world by a mile. I still believe it, but we're going backwards. And the left and the right suck so fucking bad. Like, the left fucking hates me. The woke left, the liberals, they're crazy. They're insane.
So true, man. That, you know what? That's why it's so good for the culture and for the community for him to speak out. And Jay Gabriel is also saying this basically. People, for some reason, portray Portnoy and Barstool Sport as some right-wing organization, but he's honestly very rational and has good takes. Honestly, Jay, like, this guy, if you're starting a podcast, you should just study this man. Him and KSI are 2 guys that I got into, and I'm so inspired. The guy's an inspiration. This Portnoy, he's incredible. He's made this media company. It's goddamn incredible. And there have just been bullshit attacks on him. Honestly, Jay, you know what it is? It's basically like these left-wing hit pieces on him. That's what but meaningless. It's just like shitty left-wing organizations. They just see him because he's into sports. Maybe he has some conservative views too, but they see that because it's a sports thing and he's kind of conservative. I don't even think he is technically conservative, I guess. Like, technically he is, but he's not even into that much. But they saw him as a target to try to cancel him a couple of times. And if you know Portnoy, he says, I am righteous. I will not back down. And that's it. And he stood his ground and got his grade. So that's wrong that they did that to him too. I agree with you, Jay Gabriel. Like, it was honestly, Jay, it was like lies. It was, there's a whole scandal. You can look it up. It's a Business Insider. They just basically like make up stories. And he describes it on the last episode of Flagrant. He describes the whole process, and it just scares the shit out of me because it's like, you have to be so on top of your shit to defend yourself. Like Business Insider just put up an article with a bunch of lies about him. And what am I supposed to say? Allegedly. I'm not a legal expert. I don't know, whatever. Don't sue me, whatever. But that's basically the whole story. Anyway, check it out on the Schultz podcast. It's amazing. He goes through the whole story. It's such a hassle. It's so much work. And then, yeah, you know what happens, Jay, is that like every time someone tries to do a cancel, the cancel article gets like 10 million views. And then if that cancel turns out to be incorrect, like in this case, then what they do is they put a little retraction at the bottom, and then the retraction gets like 30,000 views. So the article got 1 million. You told 1 million people that this guy's a child molester, and then you told 30,000 people that like, oh, sorry, we didn't do the research when we wrote that. Like it's crazy, right? So it's like I think he was like a victim of a little bit of that, but the man stood up and he fought back and he said, "No, I am righteous," and that's why he stands. It's incredible.
Sane people, yet I end up having to vote for a moron like Biden. Because the right is going to put Supreme Court people in who are just ruining this country and taking basic rights away. I honestly believe 95% of the people in the country think like me. They're like...
I think it's like 87%. By the way, if anyone is still even here, that's one of these anti-abortionists, if they're in the crowd, and sorry to say it like that, you are welcome. I'll put up the link in a second. Let me do like 1 or 2 reactions, and I'll put up the link if anyone wants to jump in. Because I do think we do have to bring the culture together. We have to bring the community together. It's like we don't want to be fighting forever. But honestly, oh, here we go. Officially, Denise, we got him here. It's not her body. It's someone else's body that she killed. She's not that hard to understand. LOL. I mean,
they're socially liberal and they're financially conservative. They like 90% of what Republicans, they don't like the woke culture, all this craziness. But then you look at what they're doing, and it's like you're taking away basic rights. What's next? Same-sex marriage? Like, what is next? It's insane. That's why we have to vote for the morons like Biden, who's borderline incompetent, because it's too dangerous to vote Republican. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Wake up.
God is great. Great rant. Yo, by the way, can you guys hear the music? Was I just dancing by myself in the whole opening? You guys can hear the music, right? Like when I was doing the opening. Right now, I just played a track too. Let me know. Demand Dork says bad take. LMAO. Demand Dork, I'll give you a chance to jump in if you want to jump on a call or whatever. Because you just can't help yourself, can ya? You just get so riled up. Are you getting this riled up with the military kills people? Demand Dork? Sorry, I'm not calling you a dork. I'm not just calling you a dork. Your name has dork in it. It's Demand Dork. Demand Dork. Yeah, I saw you on Sunday too. Coming in with your anti-abortion arguments. Dave Portnoy. Cybertruck says less government is better. Work next to take away the decision from state and sending it to the counties. Right. So you're saying just make it. Okay, I don't know. What's up, everybody? What's up? Peace, love, and kind. That's a good one. Let's put it. It's so simple. Can't force someone. Tom, God, yeah, you can't force them. That, Tom, I'm with you on that. It's like, and these people that are disagreeing with it and they're saying it's like a dead life. It's like, what? You don't? I mean, I haven't heard the comeback to this, but I know this argument has been out there since the 70s. And that argument is, why do you not care about the military? Do you not care about like just poverty kills people, military kills people? How come in those areas of life, in this area of life, abortion, it's black and white, and that's it. And you know the morality, it's black and white. My side, no side, that's it. You know, you're acting like you're so righteous, one with God, black and white. But then when it comes to military, poverty, all this stuff, oh, then the morality is complex. Who among us can know the complexities of God's great Lila game? It is all complex morality. If the military does an action and like 50 people die, what? Mr. Chess, why are you being a psycho, dude? What is that? Why is Mr. What? Yo, I'm putting you on a timeout, Mr. Chess. Because Mr. Chess, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic you're trying to put in the comment section there. Just cool it, dude. Just cool it. Yeah, I agree with Tom on that. But listen, we're going to have people on. We'll have people on. Demand Dork. That's a great picture and a great name, dude. I like that because you can have more than one option. Good vibes. I am anti-war as well. Okay, good. Well, that's great. Okay, good. That's great. You see that? And we found one thing. Let's not fight. Officially, Denise says I'm anti-war as well. Right, but officially, Denise, like, okay, you guys are saying you're anti-war. Fair. But like, what I'm saying is like, on this overturning of Roe v. Wade, there's like a hard, like, you're never allowed to do this thing. The U.S. is at war all the time, killing people all the time. It's like, why shouldn't we focus on that? So many more people die there too. And Americans are hurt by it. You know, it hurts everyone. Whereas this abortion issue seems like more of like, it's a tough situation. And that's like, you know, like they're already going through a tough situation. And then you're coming in on top of that and throwing an insult onto that. I've never met anyone who just wants to do it for fun. Like everyone I meet who does it is doing it because they feel like they're in a tough spot or whatever. And then you're like insulting on top of that. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But anyway, I want to play another clip and then we're going to start bringing people on. I don't even know if people even want to come on. Does anyone want to come on? I mean, put a thumbs up in the comments if you want to come on. If not, listen, we can do reactions. Habibi, we can do reactions and you can just listen to my opinion. This is a great one. This is like a rally a couple of days ago, I think.
President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
So stupid because, like, she said white life. She's like a historic win for white life.
I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
I just feel like that white life, like, it's so funny because Trump, does he even care? Actually, no, I do have an article that says Trump does not care about, he actually thinks overturning Roe v. Wade is a bad idea. Cybercheck has a thumbs up. All right, cool. I'll put the link in a second. Yeah, what a weird thing to say. What a weird thing to be brought up with. You know, even if I was Trump, I'd be kind of pissed. I'd be like, don't say your white supremacist shit. Like, even as Trump, he's like, hey, I'm trying to run in 2024, you fucking idiot. Can you not bring me up to your white supremacist shit? Like, I'll do the publicity stunt when I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's in control. When he does like, oh, the Mexicans, they're rapists, whatever, he's in control of that. This was just like, he's at another rally. I feel like Trump looks at Republicans like, he's like, I don't like you. I just used you to be president. You think I like you? You guys are just bigger chumps than the Democrats. Democrats, I couldn't convince them. But you dum-dums, you fell in line, and so I ran your shit. You think I agree with this? This is one article actually that I found. Let's talk about this, and then we'll bring Cybertrack on. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done call-ins. We got to do more call-ins. We got to do more forgivenesses, more call-ins. Okay, the man most responsible for ending Roe worries that it could hurt his party. June 24th, 2022. Oh my God. Former President Donald J. Trump has expressed different thoughts publicly and privately about overturning Roe v. Wade. Okay. The end of the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling was the culmination of decades of work by Republicans and social conservatives. This is where I got to give it up to the conservatives. Like, you guys do have the work ethic, right? Like, when the libs are just thinking this is done, I don't have to think about that. Oh, that's all done. Don't think about that. You're just always working in the background. You're just always working in the background, doing little things. I'm such a political nerd. I remember years ago I watched Al Franken. He's grilling someone who's going to become a Supreme Court justice. What's his name? Neil Gorsuch, I think. And he was saying that, like, he was asking Neil Gorsuch, like, hey, are you going to vote against Roe v. Wade or whatever, or like gay marriage, whatever? And Neil Gorsuch's like, no, I don't care about that. And he's like, oh yeah, but every year you spend 3 weeks of your year or whatever volunteering to find ways to overturn gay marriage. Like, that's apparently what Gorsuch does on his vacations. He just volunteers in Ohio, in like some other state, to like find, you know, to like brainstorm, sit down with other legal experts and be like, okay, how do we overturn gay marriage? This is kind of what he's doing in the background. And it's crazy that Clarence Thomas even said that he wants to do that next. He did say it, people. I can't believe that guy used to be like, he used to support the Black Panthers, that dude. That's wild. Let's just continue. One that came up to pass only after a former Democrat from New York who had once supported abortion rights helped muscle through 3 Supreme Court justices. Publicly, former Donald J. Trump heralded the Supreme Court's ruling on Friday, ending federal abortion prosecutions as a victory. Yet, as he faces possible persecution over his efforts to subvert the 2020 election and prepare for the likely 2024 presidential campaign, Mr. Trump has privately told friends and advisors the ruling will be bad for Republicans. Yeah, I think something like 87% of people, how many Americans are anti-abortion? I think it's like 13% only. Here we go. I think something like 87% don't. Okay, here we go. Pro-choice, 55. Pro-life, 39. Huh. It's definitely less. All right. Let's bring on a caller. Here, I'm putting the thing in here. Come on in. Let's have a discussion. This is a Church of Loving Kindness. We want to get to that. We want to make sure that we're not, come on in, be respectful. Tell us your opinion. It's fine. We got to reach across the aisle, people. And but listen, we might be the only ones doing it on the internet. We might be the only ones putting these communities together and talking. Won't do that type of stuff anymore. Mr. Chess says, sorry, Amish won't do that type of stuff anymore. Mr. Chess, I just couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. But thanks for coming. You are loved. Demand Dork, come on in if you want to come in. Mr. Chess, I'll chill with the voodoo stuff. Didn't it look like voodoo? Eliminate marriage from the state. Cybertrack. I like where your head's at. That's very modern, Cybertrack. Cybertrack, let me know if you want to if you are, I feel like Cybertrack's going to come on and he's going to have this whole other libertarian angle. We're going to be like, hey, pro-abortion, anti-abortion. He's going to be like, forced abortion. Everyone aborted. That's my rules. That's what Cybertrack is, right? Cybertrack? Cybertrack's going to be like, everyone's getting aborted. Cybertrack is here, people. Let me find a good track, actually. Oh, yeah, something nice like that. That's a nice Cybertrack. Cybertrack, come on in, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Brother, wow, nice. I like where your cabin's at. You're at a cabin, eh?
Yeah, a little tiny home, actually. I'll give you a little tour.
Oh, dude, that's sick. You have a tiny home?
Yeah, I'm actually on an island in Washington.
I'm so proud of myself that you listen to this and you're in a tiny home. Like, that's so legit, dude.
So
Cybertrack.
Yeah, I got Starlink internet and it's pretty sweet.
Oh, sick, dude. Thanks for coming. Wow. So you have satellite internet. It's probably better than mine. I'm going to cut out and you're going to take over the podcast in a second.
Well, I'll try to do my best. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on. I really wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like it might even be misunderstood in some ways by both sides, what the Roe decision is really about. And I guess my summary would be that it is in all of our best interest to not let the government decide what we can and can't do. And Roe was a decision of what we can do. And the problem of deciding what we can do is then you end up with federally sponsored programs in the form of taxation against those who don't want to support those things that they consider morally wrong. So Roe is actually a good thing. We are in I would consider the stage 1 of giving the rights to the people. Now the decision goes down to the state, and it's now our work to get to the state and say the state is not the right entity to decide whether we can or cannot do something. We need to send it down to the counties. And then when it gets to the counties, we need to say to the counties, you are not the entity to decide what is okay or not okay. And when it goes down to the city level, then you can have cities decide. People can congregate together and say, you know what, within our city boundaries, we want to form this type of community that is for this type of action or against this type of action. Because we can take New York State as an example. Prohibition was eliminated, and there are still dry counties in New York, or dry cities, I should say, where there is no alcohol sold or
Utah. Isn't Utah a dry state?
There's some restrictions in Utah at the state level, but New York is a better example because it's not even at the state level. It's down to to the city level. So, and I believe maybe at the county level, but they've reduced it so that it's each little pocket county can decide if they want to be dry or not, which is great because the closer we can get to letting individual communities form in a way that they want and give them that autonomy, everybody's happy, So I don't know. What's your opinion there?
Spoken by a true man, dude. You built that cabin with your hands. Dude, I love the voice. I love the beard. That's beautiful. No, you have your philosophy down for sure. I mean, it is such an overreach of government. It goes totally against this thing of like, which conservatives usually believe in, but it is such an overreach to say you're not allowed to do this. And I think the state, the smaller level, it makes sense. Honestly, I like libertarian stuff. For a while, I was so into it because it has the excitement of like a communism, or like not communism. It has that feeling of like a utopia a little bit, no?
Yes, exactly. And if you want to create your own communist, organization within your boundaries of your community, great, you can do that. And it won't affect the community that is next to you. So minimal impact. And we see that a lot of the, stress between groups is because we're pressuring one group with the morals and outline of another group, which makes no sense. Like let live and let live, it's kind of the better way to go. That's why, it's kind of hard. It's such an emotional decision, what just happened. But I try to relay the information that, you can be pro-choice and anti-Roe, because the hard work is in front of us, but there are good things ahead if we continue the hard work.
Yeah, I guess it always does become like a wake-up call too, like where you're like, we all just need to be more politically active. Because they are so on top of their shit, these conservatives. They're just working on it in the background all the time.
Yeah. So right now, I'd say we're federally we're balanced in the middle, and the states are going to go left and right. And really, if we were to hopefully not get caught up in the game of trying to force everybody left or force everybody right at the federal level, we are, we do have the opportunity to make things better. So, I do see how scary it could be. I want to be empathetic that it could be very scary to see something move from the left positioning to the middle positioning and worry that it's going to move to the right positioning. And it has, there's immediately those trigger bills for many states. So there are people being affected by it immediately. So I'm empathetic to that.
Wow.
So
that's too bad. And Kenzie Starr saying that one of the judges, I think referring to Clarence Thomas, said they'll be looking into gay marriage and birth control next. That's wild. Now they're talking about birth control. So like no birth control pill. Isn't that just like such a staple of like, I feel like that was a big move for feminists, and it's like they have an agenda, I guess, to dismantle it or something. Or like, what do you think of that? Is that crazy?
I don't know what they're going to do for a decision on birth control. I don't know what the topic is that they're deciding on, but I would actually be in support of removing marriage completely from this.
Yeah.
So, I don't think marriage should be a federal document or a state document or even a county document. We could have gay churches, we could have straight churches, we could have all sorts of churches, Church of Satan, whoever, and they could create a ceremonious, certificate. But when it comes to families and family courts and things like that, it doesn't really matter if there's a certain certificate or not. Judges make decisions on family units based on evidence provided to them. So, there are different legislation bodies around the idea of marriage, making things more affirmed at a state level. But I think that's unnecessary. And the courts could, see through the situation without that kind of paperwork.
Yeah, it is a weird thing to do, to go to the to go to this other stuff. It goes again, like what's the theory that you were saying? Like, is that the libertarian model is to have like minimal government control, keep it as low to the state level as possible, or like individual?
Yeah, maximal autonomy to the individual, which also has the positive effect of having minimal overhead of governance. So you burden your government with less issue, so they can focus on the necessary things like civil goods, infrastructure, and things that benefit the general wellness.
Like doing something productive. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, that would be nice if they could. Yeah, like this does seem so backward even in that sense too, of like, it just seems like extra work. Like this is something that someone could do, and you're adding like so many people to like watch it and stuff. It's very inefficient.
And this is a distraction. Notice how everybody is distracted, you know, and there's you know, they're sending tons of money overseas, but we're all distracted fighting with each other, you know, and having these conversations, you know. But again, it's you know, it's politics. You know, that's why I try my best to put out the message, hey, minimal government, even if it's painful, even if it's hard work, step by step, keep pulling away from the government, you know, its ability to over legislate.
Wow. And you're living it. You're out there in the woods right now.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I'm like deeply in the woods, but I've you know, started small businesses when I was younger, and retired when I was in my mid 30s. And yeah, just kind of living simple, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and meaningful. So I do.
Yeah, experiential versus materialism.
Yeah, and community outreach for homelessness is, you know, another important thing to me. You know, I do try to help out, you know, with tiny homes. You know, try to help with. There's a lot of legislation, they don't like tiny homes, but I'm trying to work with, you know, counties and zonings, you know, to try to ADUs, additional, you know, dwelling units, just to help bring up supply of housing, because, you know, we're seeing the effect of not having enough housing. Or
there is like homelessness, and apparently BlackRock, like these corporations are going to own every apartment now. Like America's going back, because I guess we've only had this mentality of like everyone owns a house since Reagan. Right. And now some people are predicting that the way the economy is going, the way people are buying up real estate in 15, 20 years, man, it's like, it's almost like you can see, it feels almost like a falling of the American empire a little bit. Yeah. Which is sad. I consider myself part of it. As a Canadian, I consider myself as a vassal state, you know?
I agree. And if you think about real estate is a scarce asset, there is only so many square foot of property. And as you build up, you know, a corporation that is a container for these properties, and they collect rent on those properties, it's only a matter of time before they consume all the properties, and there is no individuals owning property anymore. It's only, you know, a corporate entity.
You have to like beg them to please let me have a home. It's going to be
it's a new form of slavery, because, you know, imagine you, for simple numbers, let's say you get paid $10,000 a month and the cheapest rent is $9,000 a month. I mean, you can't say no unless you're going to live on the street, and they'll make sure the streets are dangerous enough that you won't want to take that option.
Yeah. No, it's terrifying, man. It is. So I hate to say it, like, it sounds like so fear mongering. Rogue Nerd is sorry, there's another guest here. Rogue Nerd is in the waiting room. Rogue Nerd, I see you. I'll bring you on in a second. Rogue Nerd looks like she's getting ready for a rip, you know? So I'll bring you on in a second. But yeah, dude, thanks, man. And sorry, what was I saying? It was we're heading into scary times where things are gonna shift and change a lot. And it's like, we need skills like you, like, to be able to build your own house and shit. Like, those times are coming, you know? So it's so great that you're prepared for that.
Yeah. And I hope to pass the skills and knowledge on to other people. So you keep doing your thing. It's really helping people. I just want to say that real quick.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And where can people find you? Where can people find, like, do you have a website for this stuff?
Not really. I mean, I should, but I'm kind of just local to, you know.
Yeah. That's great, dude. You're so grassroots. You're like, there's people coming. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Sick, man. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Good night.
Peace. All right, man. What a great guy. And like a proper man. You know what I'm saying? That beard, that voice was beautiful. Love it. Here we have Rogue Nerd is coming in. Let me play a track, actually. This is Blue Dream by Chill, as we bring on Rogue Nerd. Rogue, thanks for coming in. Ooh, I like the background.
Hi. Oh, thank you. It's a naked fairy talking to a moon.
That's sick. That's so meditation world. That's so like I'm just organizing my first like loving kindness meditation live, and like that's the kind of stuff I need there, you know?
Yeah, I worked hard to like really make my room like a whole mood. I stream on Twitch also, so
sick.
My background like has to look aesthetically pleasing.
Tight.
Vibe, you know.
Yeah, I have a Buddha thing downtown.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, what's your
I was
handle?
the Kenzie girl in the chat at first. That was my other account that I only like. I watch politics and stuff only on one account, so I can keep it like away from me, and I'll like watch the nerdy stuff on like my main account, which is this one.
Honestly, as I was coming on to the show, I was like, is this too political? Like, it's a lot. It's heavy. You know what I mean?
Well, I watch like my trashy content on there too, which is how I found you. But that was because you were on a different podcast talking about the manosphere and Duke and Dawn.
Oh, Duke and Dawn, sick. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And I was like, this guy's awesome. I gotta follow him. So
thanks, yo. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't see your. Wait, I gotta figure out how to show our names. Oh, here we go. Rogue Nerd. Is that your handle on Twitch?
It is, yeah, but I haven't been streaming in a while. I'm taking a break. I've been taking like a break from the internet and stuff too. I've been taking a break from the news as well.
That's healthy.
But it was hard to avoid this news.
Yeah, this Roe v. Wade, man. What a bunch of psychos. They're just working in the background. You know, like we're so chill and it's like, why are you doing
like
this?
We all just want to like chill and mind our business and maybe smoke a little weed. And there's just all up in our shit.
Yeah,
all
they're
up
just
in our uteruses.
All up in all up in it, man. It is like I guess it is like a conservative thing, and this happens in India too. Conservative people, we think that it's like one country fighting another, but really it's like the conservatives in a country fighting the conservatives in another country, and you see the same stuff. So like in India, they just are obsessed with like the Muslims are taking our girls, and they're doing that kind of stuff. They're doing like, but everyone's got
always
this.
The girl, they're always taking the girls.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they actually were killing girls for a long time. Like it's weird how they project that. Like it's this to protect women, but really it's like you're hurting women.
You know, I noticed that a lot of things that I see going on is a lot of projection.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Personally, I'm a progressive, so I get like I kind of like have my Star Trek views. I'm literally wearing a Star Trek shirt right now.
Sick. I love Star Trek. Which one's your favorite show? Oh, is Jean-Luc Picard?
Yes, that's Jean-Luc.
He's like incredible.
Episode. I know he's such a.
He is the best character. What's that?
He's such a proper gent.
He's a proper gent. He knows how to live life. Like he's definitely pro-choice. Definitely pro-choice. Picard.
Yeah, I
100%.
was trying to tell someone that I knew who is a libertarian that he was saying that everything was trying to be so woke, and then he mentioned Star Trek. He doesn't know anything about it. I was like, well, Star Trek was woke before woke was woke, and he's like, no, it wasn't. I was like, bro, you've obviously never watched it. Like that's the premise of the show. Like that everyone like Earth is paradise, and like there's no poverty, and like everything everyone's accepting. You know, honestly, one day.
The meditation gurus of the 70s, like, are you familiar with Baba Ramdas?
No, I'm not.
So there's Baba Ramdas.
I want to get more like spiritual though.
Oh, you'd love it.
That's why I thought your content was cool.
Thank you, appreciate it. So Baba Ramdas, he does. He's like it's like these meditation type of talks. It's like a whole genre of thing. Like Alan Watts does it too. Their views, like they were back then talking about trans people, like in the 70s. Like they were talking about like
there was an episode of Next Generation with like non-binary people.
Yeah, no, the Hindus have not in Hinduism. God's non-binary.
There is. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
God is like a Shiva and Shakti energy. It's just like a masculine, feminine energy dancing in space. It's like we're all. It goes back and forth. It's weird that they have such an obsession with that here.
Yeah, I think it's weird too. Like I don't think it's that serious. Like everyone just needs to relax.
I know, just chill. Like they're like nobody. It is a weird thing where you're like nobody's dying to do it or anything, you know, like it's not like people I know who do it. And I really feel like this might be a disconnect between between the sides is like, it's like this, they're genuinely worried that like women are just being like, they're just, like if we make it illegal, then they'll just be careful and not have the kid or like, or like, they're just like not being careful or something like that. Like,
it's
or loose.
Yeah, I think that's strange. Like it just automatically people are going to be so promiscuous or something. And I personally I've had more than one abortion before. And it was totally a fucking lifesaver, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm 34 years old. I have 2 children, 15 and 7. And I could not afford to have another child right now. Like, when I was with my fiance, that was when I had one. And when I was, so full disclosure, the first time I ever had sex in my whole life, I used a condom and it broke and I got pregnant. And I was 17, I believe.
Wow.
And I was like, damn it, I followed all the fucking rules. Like,
Yeah, what the fuck?
you know? Yeah.
Like,
So,
the abortion should be free on that one. It should be like, listen, I did
get a
everything.
freebie, like
Give me a
one-up
free
man
one.
in Mario.
Isn't it normally like $300 too? Like, how does it? Do you have to pay for it? Because there's no health care.
I was so I'm from New York, and it was covered by insurance, by my like health insurance, and like my mom definitely would have, like, she's kind of abusive, so she definitely would have like punched me in the face and other stuff. So
Wow.
if she would have found out, I would have got a serious beat down.
Yeah.
So she didn't find out about that, and then like I said later, I was with my now ex-fiance, and we just couldn't afford it. Like, if I, you know, I'm not like active now, but if I were, like, I couldn't afford that. Like, I can barely afford to feed us, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I've grown up poor my whole life. I'm still poor. I'm a single mom. Like, I was about to get rid of this goddamn dog.
Yeah.
Dog might have to go.
Yeah, you're like,
I
baby,
can't fucking
I
feed her.
can barely keep the dog. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I gotta feed these goddamn kids, you know, and then they like, they keep growing and they keep eating. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So
Can't bring cereal in the house. They'll just eat it out. They'll just eat the
oh my
cereal.
God, you know how many times I've like hidden a snack from them? Like, the last time it was a jelly donut. I like shoved it in my mouth in the car. So my kids
You gotta
know.
eat it behind their backs.
Yeah, man, or it's done for.
That's so funny.
My son's like, "What's for dessert?" I'm like, "Bro, like,
Like-
you ate my food." Like, there
You're
are
like-
times where I go hungry to make
Yeah.
sure that they eat, you know?
You're like,
So
what's for dessert? For you? Nothing. I get dessert.
yeah, right.
It's like, I gotta make sure you don't get addicted to sugar, baby.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get in there. 420
Yeah.
IQ.
Exactly. Yeah.
So but I'm so thankful. Well, not anymore. I'm in America. I live in Florida now, so it's kind of nervous. But I was so thankful that I had the choice to do that, because
Yeah.
it would have completely turned like all of our lives
Yeah, like at 17.
completely upside down. Well, at
Yeah.
17, most definitely. But like when I was with my ex-fiance, even then, like, we, you know, things were even like good, but we couldn't take on that burden.
Yeah.
It's just way too much. And I also think that it's strange when people push their religious views on others, because aren't there like over 4,000 religions in the entire world?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think it's so strange when people are like, no, but out of the 4,000, I'm right. And you have to do this because it's like how I think. Like, the other day, yeah, I think that that's very strange. I'm not religious. I try to do spiritual things like meditate and things like that.
It's like trauma, I guess. Like I think some religions are just traumatized, and like some cultural groups are traumatized, and then they're just always, it's like with Hindus, like they're supposed to be like this peaceful religion, whatever, but they're just scared of, like, you know, everyone's actually afraid and they're doing it to protect themselves.
It seems like everyone's so afraid, and like, I can't relate. I guess I just can't relate.
That's why it's not in our nature as liberals to be so hyperactive, proactive, and like, you know,
I'm a minority too. So like, I feel like some white people are like really afraid. Like, being a minority who grew up in New York, like, I know things to be like afraid of, you know. Walking down the street in Manhattan, Like, so this other stuff that like people get so, I don't know, I'm just like, she relax. Like,
Yeah, like just like this, like the anti-abortion thing. It's like why are you so mad about it? It doesn't affect you. You're
yeah, if
not
you
this
don't want
mad
an
about
abortion,
war.
then don't get one.
Yeah, don't get one, and don't think about it. Like it's not even something that you need to think about. It's just when it happens to
Right.
that person, they got to figure it out.
Their
It's
life
a complex thing.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that that's very strange too. Like, for example, Clarence Thomas, I believe
Oh
he.
my God, such a sellout. You know, he is so
I'm Black and Hispanic, and like we totally say that about him all the time.
he is such a, you know,
But
he used to support Black Panthers back in the day. Oh my God,
wild, dude,
I know
wild.
he used to support Black Panthers back in the day, and then he got in with certain conservative, like basically the people who paid him, like he couldn't get in with the liberal side, I guess. And then
Yeah.
someone on the conservative side was like, "Hey man, I'll mentor you. I'll bring you up in the game."
He
So
wasn't
he's
fooling
just
us,
loyal.
bro. He wasn't fooling us. We were like, nah, like something's off here. Like he couldn't get in the club.
I know, right? Yeah, I guess so. I guess he's always been a little bit like that, I guess. Yeah. Some people are like that. Honestly, like I'm shocked at how conservative Black dudes are. It's so it's shocking because
it's such an oxymoron. It feels like
it is because in
well,
Hollywood,
you know, I know that there's like conservative views in the Black and Hispanic community. For example,
Yeah.
like when I say conservative, I would think of maybe like culturally, like old fashioned. You know, like you'll see some of
Yeah.
that, but
I'm shocked
the
by that with how many
bigotry
Black
is
YouTubers.
weird.
Yeah. I was actually watching another guy, like another Black judge that was fighting with Anita Hill. And for people who don't know, like Clarence Thomas, one of the guys who like led this charge on overturning Roe v. Wade, I don't think he's so righteous because he has like 1 million sexual assault allegations against him. Like just
Well, it's the what do we call it? The when you kind of put it off on others, like you're
projecting.
Projecting. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I guess
I need
so,
to
right?
smoke. My brain will work better.
Get it. Yeah, it is like a projecting. So it's so wild. So I was watching this thing with Anita Hill, and she's saying that she got a call from his wife, like 20 years after the trial or whatever, because there was like a whole trial of it and whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
20 years later, she got a voicemail from his wife saying, like, why don't you do the right thing and apologize for what you said about my husband? Because I know you're a liar and you know you are too. Like 20 years later,
she
had
was
a voice
holding
message.
on to that.
Yeah.
That was eating at her soul.
Well, your husband is banging everyone, dude. It's so weird. And she was at the January 6th. Like that is such a weird case there too, with like with them too.
He hasn't recused himself, which doesn't seem right. But yeah. So he mentioned recently. He used the word erroneous, so you know he meant business. Talking about the court cases that were for contraception, for gay marriage, and I think maybe sodomy, which I always think is hilarious how they plan to enforce that. Like, are they gonna bang on doors like y'all in there, like ass fucking? Like, what are they gonna do to like enforce that?
How are you gonna check? Honestly, that's the next Handmaid's Tale is like a gay Handmaid's Tale where they're like, we got the checker.
But notice that he's naming these things that fall under this certain category is what he's saying. But notice he didn't mention the court case of Loving versus Virginia, which is the interracial marriage because his wife is a white woman.
Yeah.
So I thought that was
that is weird, eh? It's like that's what I mean. Back in the 70s, they were both like rock and roll. Actually, his wife was in this cult called Lifespring, and she got out of the cult, and she actually did activism against them. But now, here's the crazy thing. Clarence Thomas' wife, I'm just going to share this because I feel like maybe some people don't know about this. It does sound so wacky, but I just want to show a picture. So this is Clarence Thomas' wife, Ginny Thomas.
Thank you.
But okay, so here's the crazy thing. You know the January 6th, like the insurrection? She was there.
Yeah.
She was there, and she was fighting.
Are like all over it somehow, and it's like I don't even know what's going on. I've been, like I said, I've been trying to stay away, but I still
yeah.
like know what's up to some extent, and I know that she has some involvement, and apparently, I guess if you are rich enough, there are a different set of laws that apply to you than they do to the rest of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, that's
it
it.
doesn't seem like any foul play will have any consequences, you know?
Well, it almost seems like they were both activists for the left when they were young. I mean, her not so much. I think she just did activism against cults and cult like awareness kind of stuff back in the day. But then I think they just at some point said, okay, we're on this team now, so we're just going to take all of that activism and put it into this, because this is a real activist move that he did. This is a real like, look what I did for the community. Like they're all going to be like proud. They're all proud of him probably. And yeah, it's such a weird thing to go from like Black Panthers to this.
Speaking of cults, I saw an interview that you did that I enjoyed with a woman who was in the Nityananda cult.
Yeah.
And you
Wild,
were
eh?
just like, Nitty, what the
Nitty! Nityananda, my favorite. He has actually a great series on right now called "How to, Techniques for Lazy People." I haven't seen it. It's not a great series. It's just a great thumbnail and like a great. I was like, ooh, interesting. But it's like, yeah, his series right now is called Techniques for Lazy People. So smart.
I found her separately from you, and then I saw the both of you doing something together, and I was like, oh my god, like worlds colliding. But you know, one day I think that I went down like a rabbit hole on YouTube, as we do sometimes, and I was looking into and I was looking at cults, and I thought it was fascinating because I was telling people that I felt like this whole Trump thing was having like, you know, cult. It smelled like a cult. You know, there were things that were so similar to like cult type behavior. And
Steve
so
Austin wrote a
being
book
so
about
curious, the bite model and everything. So
no, he wrote a book specifically about Trump, saying like this. It's called The Cult of Trump,
oh, that's
I think. And
right. That's right.
It's
I
just
saw
about
him
how
doing
he's
an interview.
Yeah, I gotta pull that up. But continue.
Yeah. So I was curious, like, how does this happen to people? Because I see it happening around me, and I feel like I'm pretty logical, which is why I look at other people so strangely, because I see them being so illogical, and I just don't understand it. So
yeah,
I went down the cult rabbit hole, and that's how I found her. And that cult rabbit hole brought me to the manosphere as well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then that's how I found you. But
yeah,
they were
sick.
like a year apart, so so
Well,
I thought that interview was interesting, so good on you.
thanks. Yeah, no, I love talking to Duke and Don. I got to bring him on the show now, and I do want to ask him. Like, I'm shocked. I guess it's not different from Indian men, though. Indian men are conservative in the same way, but I had no idea, because I grew up just thinking like the stereotype I guess we're served from Hollywood about black men is that they're just like cool and smooth and like kind of like, I don't care about that. Like, not conservative. It's like very liberal and very smooth and cool, and you know, like rappers. I don't know. Like they're not.
I gotta show you. I'll if I can. I want to send you like a video that like talks about that a little bit. But
oh yeah, you should be able to send me one in the private chat, and I can play it on the show right now. If you want to send it to me, go for it. But yeah, like Duke and Don. I mean, he's not so much in it. He kind of calls them out, but I can't believe how many black YouTubers, like right-wing black YouTubers, are. Like it's like a genre of YouTube.
They don't know that they're right-wing, and I dipped my toe in there because I was like, you guys know that you're like right-wing, right? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but you're saying like right-wing talking points, and you're like this.
Yeah, like you're clearly sound
well,
brainwashed.
then do you at least realize this is like conservatism? And they're like, no. And I'm like, so what do you think you're saying? Like, and so like I dipped my toe in, and I was like on a few of his shows, and then I was like, I felt like it was like unhealthy to like be in that space, and I was like, I'm just gonna back away. Like, I felt like I was, I don't know, talking to people who weren't listening in the first place, and and I felt like, but why am I like, I need to talk to myself and work on myself. Like, I'm trying to help someone who doesn't even, I don't know, I felt like I was trying to reach out
it's
and
kind of
I
like,
didn't know why.
Have you ever seen Kevin Samuels? You know Kevin Samuels, obviously, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we were
RIP.
talking about. It's like how why are these women calling him? Like there's so many women that call him just to get berated, and you're like, yeah, we should be trying to surround ourselves with people who love us and not tear us down like that.
And
Not
that was
that
what I liked about your you showing up there, because I felt your positivity, and I was
Thank
like,
you,
yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
thank you.
and
Yeah, no, we should be like that. I don't think they see how damaging that thinking
I
is
don't think that they do either, and that
and
was
how much it hurts them.
yeah, I think that was my initial like instinct to reach out, and then I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't get
I gotta
through.
get
Like
out of here.
they're so mean. I mean, they just kick people off the show. Like he plays sound effects over girls, and the sound effects are like,
like different
yeah.
things he says that girls are overweight and stuff.
Yeah.
He
would do those those like soundtrack like doing doing doing. Boom, 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 boom,
A friend of mine was like, you should call in, and I was like, hell no. He's like, you would get a lot of clout, and I'm like, why would I want that type of attention? Like, hell no.
Yeah,
like
he would talk
I'm
to
watching
you.
Netflix. It's so much more
Yeah.
important.
That's true. He would talk to you. They do have a point, and I want. But the thing is with him, he just seems so unbudgeable. Like I would say, call into everyone else. Charlemagne the God, if you can, obviously. Like he seems like he actually seems very cool. But like even other people like Joe Budden and whatever. What's that?
Yeah, like they can have a conversation back and forth.
They can have a back and forth. I found with Kevin Samuels, and even a lot of, and we were talking about the Kevin Samuels interregnum. Like now that he's passed, may he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's like, who's gonna fill the hole? Who's
gonna fill the
spot?
Guy? I know. That's what I said.
There's so many people.
There's a void that needs to be filled, and like someone, like it seems like with the way that they think, that they are probably thinking like, I need to be the next Kevin Samuels. Like I need to fill that spot. It seems like that's the type of attitude that they're
very ego-minded. So they're they're very, and this is what makes them so hardworking. Like they work hard because everyone's a hustler. So everyone's getting like a couple 100,000 subscribers, 50, 60. And there's just, it's like a whole industry, so much content being put out. Every day I find a new guy, like a new, even like a new black conservative guy that's just ripping, like coming in with even heart. I'm like, come on, man, this is so mean. And it's just like another aggressive thing. Going back to like Tommy Sotomayor, I feel like Tommy Sotomayor started it, and I don't know if you've seen that guy, but he's like an early
a
pioneer.
Very little bit,
yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not diving too deep into this, and I sniffed at it a bit, and I was like, oh, okay, another one of these weirdos.
Yeah,
I probably sound mean now, but I swear I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, no. They're definitely, it's so obvious what happened. I mean, it's just trauma, like this is like, it almost seems, and the same thing with in India. Like I have, my cousins are like this, like one guy's a Hindu nationalist. He's like, I'm talking about, I don't know. He's just bringing up whatever. I don't know what I said on the show, but I think I said something about how like the Hindu nationalist government was doing something to Muslims or like fighting with Pakistan, something. And he's like, and he, the next time I talked to him, he's like, yeah, well, why is there any Muslims in India? The Muslims should be in Pakistan. They had their country. We have our country. They shouldn't even be in our country. We got to get rid of them. I think that's what they all think.
Yeah.
Not all, but like a lot of my cousins.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Are like, just, it's almost like, actually, it's probably like 50-50 or like 30-70.
The whole like manosphere and like how these black men are like showing like a lot of conservatism.
Yeah.
It is very like strange, but me personally, in my personal life and like my family, I actually never grew up around any conservatives. I didn't know any conservatives. My whole family are like Democrats. We all like gay people.
Right.
We like, so like growing up, I grew up around trans people. I'm 34, so I was like a little kid, and so seeing all of this stuff, it's always been like, I see people now, like being on Twitch, there are a lot of like political commentators. They're mostly white, and they'll say like, oh, like my parents are conservative, or my parents are right wing, or I like, of course we all know somebody who is, and I'm like, we all know somebody. Like I don't fit in this space. Like I don't know anyone.
You didn't know anyone?
No, I just, like, moving to Florida was the first time I seen so many white people in one space. I was like, oh my God, they're in their natural habitat. So
Yeah.
like,
That's wild.
in New York,
That's wild. No conservatives.
no. In New York, you see everyone, you know, but conservatives, no. Like,
man,
I grew
people
up in
were
the
trying to
hood.
radicalize
Like,
me. People were trying to make me like. I would go to Patel
I grew up in the
events.
projects.
Oh, you're in
So-
projects. Eh? Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I grew up in the projects in Staten Island, Wu-Tang, you know, so like,
Right. Conservatives not there. They leave.
leave. I don't even know if they existed. Like,
They
not
don't-
in the
yeah, they don't.
projects.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not there. You're not hearing any racist
no.
theories. You're not hearing anything.
I mean, well, I heard some racism, but it was against like white people because everyone was Black or Hispanic.
Right. You're not getting that, like, why aren't the guys pulling their pants up kind of black guy, like conservative old man kind of thing. Nobody was there like that.
No, I mean, my grandfather would be like, you know, he used to be like, these young kids need to pull their pants up, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's your grandfather.
My grandfather is actually in the Hall of Fame for jiu-jitsu.
Sick.
He's like one of the leading Black men, made his own fighting style and everything. So,
Well, he made his own fighting style in jiu-jitsu.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
He's a community leader.
He was a community leader at one point. Like, he would help the community. So I get, like, it just was never the conversation or the discourse in how I grew up. And then being in New York, you see so many different shades of people. Like when you go into, I'm from Staten Island, but like when you go in the city, like you just see everybody.
Did you have to go to a lot of stuff? Like, did you have a lot of family events growing up?
I have a large family, so yeah, there was always
wow. That's impressive to have a large family and no conservatives. Like, I would go to these Patel events and there'd be like an old Indian man would be like I'm 10 years old, and he'd be like, Amish, what do we do about the Muslims? What are we going to do? Like, he'd be like, what? I'm like, nothing. I don't fucking care. What are you talking about? He's like, Amish, the Musliman coming. They call him Musliman.
Uncle who didn't like white people, but liked hockey, and I was like, how does that work? So,
then when they were around, was he like, what's that?
I'm sorry, I make a lot of dumb jokes.
No, they're great. What do you mean? But your dad.
But my father is Puerto Rican.
Oh, right.
And I mean, the Puerto Rican side of my family, some of them are religious, but I never really I wasn't really around. I was always around my mother's side of the family. And no conservatives. And there was like 7 to 9 kids from my grandmother, and like a lot of cousins, and like nobody's conservative. No.
Wow, that's wild. I can't imagine. I'm just texting CoffeeZilla, seeing if he wants to come on. You know CoffeeZilla, right, Steven?
CoffeeZilla is dope. I've never met him, but I've watched his content. He's very well researched.
He is. Yes, he is. No, man, the videos have been killing it. And this design that I have behind me is made by the same designer as his.
Oh, cool. I was wondering who made your little avatar. So cute.
Yeah, cute, eh? Yeah, but tell us more about. So, were you going to tell us more about? Because I do go on tangents a lot. Were you going to tell us something more about like the process of you going through it? You've had 2, you said, right?
I have. So, when I went through it, I was in New York at the time when I did the first one, and it was right by CBGB's, which is gone now, so that's sad.
CBGB's.
Yeah, classic CBGB's.
What's CBGB's? That's an American.
It's like this old bar club kind of place where every old rock and roll band went through CBGB's.
CBGB's. You gotta go to CBGB's. That's sick, yo. CBGB's. What a good name.
So it's very rock and roll, you know.
That's rock and roll. CBGB's. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I go there, and when I'm walking in, there's people protesting out front, screaming at me. And
oh wow! So you had one of those ones where you're walking in and there's people outside. Like what?
That happened both times. the second time it happened, it was like pouring raining outside. I was like, damn, these people are committed.
Oh
But
my
then-
God. Fucking psych. This is why you can't keep up with the conservatives. This is why the conservatives run the
They're
shit,
organized.
because
They're
who has
organized.
this?
Like, because progressives like are, well, not all progressives, but I do notice that like the extreme left are like eating each other, and
Yeah, they eat each other. They don't even attack the
Yeah.
other side. Come
and then
on,
the right
guys.
are like
Organized.
organized and
Yeah.
team players, you know.
Yeah, they are such team players. They're all
Yeah.
alpha. Like, but honestly, in the end, I think with the conservative side, our only hope as lefties is them eventually, like, because sometimes they do fight each other.
Yeah,
And
of course.
sometimes that's our only hope. Like, we need like
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
we can't do it. How do we stand up to the psychos? We need them. And that's what even Donald Trump is saying. Like this overturning Roe v. Wade, he's saying a lot of people on the Republican side are not into it even. Like, it's not that.
Well, I don't think that a lot of the things that they say that they are into, I think they just say it because it gets them their votes and brings out their base.
Okay, there's that.
And like energizes people.
Yeah. Like, they do have like an anything to win mentality for sure.
Yeah.
This does a little petty. Like, let's just do it because we can do it. Like, we got 9. Let's just get
I know. I don't
It's
understand
so petty.
it.
And then he does the gay marriage one and the contraception after 2. And anal sex, I didn't hear, but if he said anal sex too, it's like, bro, come on,
Like,
dude.
you're taking away all the fun things.
I know. As if Clarence Thomas isn't doing all of that shit, man. He was
know.
so, like, he had so many women saying that he would just grab them at work and stuff. But anyway, what's the word I say
go
after
on
that?
tangents too.
No, not the tangent. I'm just worried about the legal. There's a legal term. Allegedly. Just
Oh,
groping all
yeah.
these women at work. Whatever. I don't know.
Allegedly. Don't. You're
What a
on
sellout.
YouTube.
Such a sellout, man. Jeez. But yeah, so they're yelling at you going in, and then what is the process like? So like you just
Yeah, when the second time that I did it, they were outside, it was raining, and this place had a parking lot, and they're only supposed to stay on the sidewalk because that's public property, and then the parking lot is the private facility's property. They're not supposed to go on there, but they chased me inside.
what
And
the
I
fuck?
was-
They chased you.
Yeah, I was with my fiance at the time, and when I went inside, I was like, they went in the parking lot, and she was like, oh. And she went outside to like regulate, but they're like not supposed to do that.
Wow, she has to go outside and be
also
like, guys, not in the parking lot. We have to, we got to call the
Come
cops
on,
after.
work with me here.
Fucking
And when I was
psychos.
leaving, I had to wait a moment before I could pull out into traffic, as you do. And it was still raining. And one of them came to my car with an umbrella, and she's knocking on the window. And I'm just like what the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't want to swear on your.
I don't care,
program.
swear. So she knocks on your window. She's like, excuse
She's
me.
not- yeah, and I'm
what
not
you're
driving,
doing
I'm in
is
the
wrong.
passenger seat. Yeah, and I'm just like, bitch, like, what am I gonna do? Roll down the fucking window? Like, I don't know, like,
Live your
and,
life.
like, we just ignored her and like stir and like pulled off. Like, well, fuck you, bitch, whatever. Like, don't knock on my fucking window. What the hell? This isn't your car.
That's so
but-
aggressive. She just wanted to give you a little lecture. You're like,
I
what
don't
you're doing
know,
is wrong.
like,
But it was on the way out or on the way in?
That was on the way out, but those people were
It's
aggressive.
over.
She came into the parking lot, and it's over. It's done, bitch. It's done.
See, now you're not even being productive for society. Like, on the way in, okay, you can make the argument.
Let me say,
But you're taunting on the way out? Nothing. It's over now.
She just wanted to scold me, I guess.
God
Bitch,
doesn't
I'm
like you.
grown. Out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. God
So
doesn't like
the
you, man.
process-
Holy
I
shit.
know. So
No,
the
God loves
process
everyone, I guess,
was when I first did it. That second time I had done the pill version, which you go through at home.
They're yelling at you for getting a pill? So this was like wait, so this wasn't even like an abortion, it was just a morning after pill.
It
It's
was
like the
an
second-
abortion pill. It wasn't the morning after pill.
Not the morning after
So-
one. It was a pill. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was definitely pregnant,
Jeez.
and I needed to. So what you do is you take that first pill with the doctor, and they
Okay.
explain everything to you after you go through like a bunch of checkups, and then you take the next pill. Like, they give you a sheet with like how you have to like do everything, and like you're gonna be in pain and stuff. They give you painkillers and like anti-nausea medication. You have to take the next pill, like put it in your cheeks and like let it dissolve. So it's like a whole process you have
It's
to
a
go
process.
through.
Like there's like 3, like 1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like really, really sucky.
Yeah, no, even the morning after
And
pill is like, it's a hassle. I've had to get it a couple times, and
it's
it is
easier
like,
to get now, but I remember I gotten it before and it was a hassle. But when I went the first time, excuse me, I was a little further along, so I had to go through I couldn't do the pill method. I had to do the like the other method. So I just remember filling out a lot of paperwork and taking my blood and everything, checking me, and then I go under for the surgery. I guess I'll just call it a surgery. I don't know if it's medically considered a surgery. And they tell me to count backwards from 10. I get to 8 and I'm like done, and I wake up and I don't feel good. It was really like uncomfortable and painful. And I helped my friend go through it once before too, and I helped take care of her after and everything. So it was just like such a crappy feeling. And the first, like I said, that was my first even experience being intimate with somebody. So after, I felt like a lot of remorse, but more than that, I felt so much like relief, because you know, I was just so thankful that I felt like I still had a life. Like when that happens, like your life is over, like your life is done, you know.
Yeah,
like I'm a mom right now, and my whole existence is dedicated to my children.
of course.
You know,
you're doing God's work. I mean, that is like the reproductive side is like the most godly. It is like you're creating life, and there's such a more of a hassle than like any of these guys.
Oh my God, being
know about.
pregnant is sucks. Giving birth is gross. Thank goodness I was watching the Super Bowl the first time, and I was watching The Hangover the second time.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be
Priorities.
there. Like, how long was the labor? It was like 10 hours. Like it's hours, eh?
Oh, the first one, labor was forever. I watched the whole fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the second time, I felt like a pro.
Yeah.
Second time I just was like watching The Hangover and like laughing and shit, and like I got him out like easily.
That's great. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy because there is a big concern, like with India, where there's like this population politics, where people are just worried about like, okay, we got to watch the women because then they're like, this is a major thing where people say like it's so much better for society to just allow the abortion, because when people aren't, like, most women will just have the kid later when they're ready to have the kid and they have the resources and it's safe and all that stuff.
That's
you know?
what I did. I was a teenager, like when the first time, and I did not have any, like I had to finish school. I didn't have the resources like at all. But, you know, once I was in a better position, I had my son, and now he's getting on my nerves because he's a teenager. And that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. But it's such work. I mean, it is really hard work, and it's like the most important work.
Yeah, and my older son, he has high functioning autism, so he struggles a bit more socially.
Yeah. It's crazy how like these people want more kids, and then they're just treating women like shit. It's like, you can have, like, how do you feel about I mean, I just feel like if you want more kids, just pay for them. Like, where's the universal child care? Where's the
that's
like
exactly
concern?
how I feel. Like
I think we should have universal child care. I can't believe how people think that's so radical. Like, people think it's but that's Star Trek. I'm very Star Trek like that. It's like,
I'm very
now
Star
that
Trek
there's
like
a kid,
that too, dude.
there's a kid here. Like, what's all this communist socialist talk when there's like a kid here? Now the kid's alive and born.
Like it's
like, let's just take care of it.
Common sense to like, okay, we're going to like make sure the kids are taken care of and have good education so they can be awesome, productive members of society and progress us forward. And it's like, hell no. Oh, okay, I guess not.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I had my son, I was still very young. I was 18 when I had him, and I struggled so much. I got my GED while I was pregnant. I couldn't afford childcare because At the time, I think it was like $600 and something a week.
Wow.
And
like that should just be covered. Why can't the government, like, honestly, we have school. It's like, just extend school down to there, you know?
I know, right? I ended up going on a government program so that I could get childcare, but in order to do that, I had to clean public toilets, which now I have a phobia of toilets because I was cleaning one time and it splashed in my face, and like now I'm traumatized.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You're in there. You're in life. You're really living it. You're raising kids.
Yeah, I'm like in life, dude. So and like, yeah, I had to like clean public toilets and like clean like just garbage outside and stuff to just so that I could have the child care. And then like it's just been like a wild ride. I don't want to give like my whole life story, but like those are the challenges that people face. You know what I mean? My son's father, his biological father, he's actually an illegal immigrant from Mexico, and he tried to get me pregnant on purpose to try to get a green card, apparently, is what him and his family told me. It was like a big thing.
Wow.
But yeah, even so though, I'm still not like for the wall or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
That's just a terrible individual, you know.
You're not like, but, Trump was right. Trump was right. One of them tried to get me pregnant. So let's build the fucking wall. Yeah, that's why still you have love in your heart. Still you have love in your heart.
Oh, of course.
Listen, he's in a tough spot.
Bad person. That's a bad person.
Bad person for sure. Bad person too.
Bad choices, bad actions, and like that's how we have to look at things.
It's so sad that like poverty pushes us to do these things. You know, like poverty puts people in these tough situations where they got to be so aggressive. Like I do feel like that about that whole conservative scene. Like they are in a place in the culture where they can't survive without being hyper masculine, and then it just leads to these views. Like it's the only way they can survive.
They don't really, but it's the masculinity seems like kind of fake to me, to be honest. Like it just seems, I don't know, it seems superficial, I guess I'd say.
I mean, people have called it like a certain form of it toxic masculinity versus like in the meditation scene, they talk about it like you want to have
no wonder I can't see you.
You want to have like a balanced masculinity or like there's positive masculinity and there's toxic, I guess. And same with feminine.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, I tell people when people are like, oh, toxic masculinity, like when they have an issue with that, I'm like, listen, you like pizza? How about some toxic pizza? You know, like pizza's fine, but toxic pizza, I'm probably gonna pass. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the same thing with masculinity. Masculinity could be sexy and like you know, a good thing to learn as like a young boy and stuff. You know, I'm raising two boys.
Yeah.
You know?
There's such great things in masculinity. Like it's good for we need it as a call. Like we just need it.
Just like we need femininity as a female. Yeah. Like I love certain parts of femininity. I think it's awesome, you know.
No, we need both. We do need both. It's the only way we can live. Yin and yang. It's the yin and yang, and it's the only way life survives. And like when we're polarized and fighting each other like this, it's just not.
Yeah,
it's healthy.
Beautiful. But like, you know, just like pizza, you know, you're not gonna reach for the toxic pizza. Like, you know, if I offer you a slice of toxic pizza, you're gonna turn it down.
Is it frozen?
Regular pizza is fine.
is it one of these like frozen pizza companies trying to be like, oh, it's not delivery, it's Delicio. It's like, just cool it. Okay, it's a frozen like, goddamn pizza.
Now with real flavors. Like, what the fuck was it before?
What was it? I don't know. You know who killed it? Is Dr. Oetker. Have you heard Dr. Oetker?
No. Is it
frozen? They're like thin frozen pizzas. Incredible. I don't know why it's a doctor. It's a Canadian. Maybe it's a Canadian brand. It's called Dr. Oetker. He makes it best pizzas. It's the only frozen pizzas I could eat. But before that, I'm like, come on, guys, what are we doing? Frozen pizza? Let's just order a pizza. Like, let's just get a, you know, like, it'll be $10. No. It's anything can go toxic. Anything can become like this volatile thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like you can, you know, everything is fine in moderation.
But, everything's fine in moderation.
Once you are doing too much, like unless you've been watching a TV show, then I give you a pass. But...
And it only, and it only hurts you. Like this thing, like there's people in the audience even saying like, oh, I don't, only Sims talk about toxic masculinity. Listen, if you don't believe in it, or if you're being aggressive like that, you hurt yourself the most, because you'll never be able to live up to your standards. Like, you're always fighting. Like, you're just that is part of toxic masculinity. It's like someone who's always fighting. There is a positive masculinity. There's great masculine traits.
Oh yeah.
There's incredible masculine traits, but there is such a thing as
masculinity is sexy.
It's so hot. It's you have to have it, because we have to.
Just
it's
like
the only way to have sex.
Femininity is sexy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. My mom, she still lives in New York, and she's a New Yorker. Like, she will fight you.
Yeah.
And and she is so aggressive and so angry, and everything that happens is always combative, and my cousin and I talk about it sometimes. I'm so thirsty. It's been a while since I've streamed. But my cousin and I talk about it sometimes. Like, why would you want to live that way? And I would just say to people, like, wouldn't you prefer to be happy? Like, isn't that such a better feeling? Like, to always have this conflict.
Oh, what I was going to show you? I actually was going to show you this before, but yeah, no, this is an issue. It's like you get stuck in these spots, I feel like.
It's at the point where it feels like she is getting some type of dopamine from being like.
Yeah. No, you get that. You do get it. You do start to feel like.
See it.
And also, like, they teach this in oh man, where is the freaking thing? I was gonna show you this thing. It's like a. Oh my god, why is it doing this? Hold on. I always show this. Well, I mean, I'll show you this one. And then we have Jax in the waiting room. Jax, no camera over there. You're gonna come on with audio only, or you're gonna turn on the camera? Camera would be nice, but yeah, audio only is fine. This is Shiva and Shakti. This is like masculine and feminine energy. Yeah, it's like you want it to be balanced. Actually, everyone has both energies, and you want both to be balanced. If you have too much of one or the other, it does become toxic either way. I think it's interesting. This is what Hindus believe God is. And actually, most religions too, even when they talk about the logos in Christianity, I don't know if I think it's like this energy, the logos, and like in Islam, they call it the beloved. But they're very like worried about not being a man, God not being a man. But they do have these beliefs that are like, there is this spirit, like this energy kind of thing. And it's not necessarily one or the other. And it is basically like, you want to balance both to be complete. And I think a lot of people are missing that for sure. Grown adults? No. Yeah. Tell us where we can follow your Twitch stream. Oh, shoot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Tell us where we can.
I can't hear anymore. I don't know what happened.
Oh, no, you can't hear me? Hold on.
I think it's my end, though, because it looks like on my other device, everyone can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
So I think I just can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all? No, nothing? Okay. Rogue Nerd. Yo, thanks for coming.
If I leave and come back? Or are you letting someone else on anyway?
Yeah, we have someone else in the waiting room, so we'll do another call. But come back next week. We'll do it again. Rogue Nerd, thanks for coming, and let me know if there's a Twitch thing I can share. If you put in the comments, I'll just share it. Thanks for coming, Rogue Nerd. Great chatting with you. Lovely background. That's very nice. I'm just about to add Jax to the stream. Jax, what's up, Habibi? How you doing?
Hi,
Rogue Nerd. I can't hear you anymore.
What's up?
But yo, thanks for coming. You are loved. Appreciate you, Rogue Nerd. Everybody, kicking it here with us tonight. Jax, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? I feel like you've been listening for a while. What's up, dude?
Yeah, of course. I've been like since before you did the first episode with CoffeeZilla. I use different accounts, so it depends.
What a mysterious man, eh? No camera, eh? No camera today.
Sorry about that. I don't want my face on the internet.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, my voice is fine, but yeah.
What's up, man? I actually I did want to show another clip. You want to watch a Jordan Peterson clip, and then we can talk about because it is related to the abortion thing, and I feel like it's a good clip just to show like even how careful he is about this.
Of a human fetus and how that's impacted. You talk a lot about consciousness and the importance of it. I was hoping to get your opinion on an issue of consciousness that has often seen Christianity among other groups and politics a clash. I'm hoping to get your views on the consciousness or lack thereof of a human fetus and how that's impacted your views on abortion, whatever they are, and any.
Oh. Thank you. Okay, so the first question is, do I have an answer for that? That's a good enough.
Wow, I'm at 1.5 and it's still so that's how you know a good speaker. They just take their time. So many people have told me this, even as a comic, they're like, just pause. If you're a fucking man, pause. And they'll listen more. It's incredible.
Actually reveal.
Yeah.
No, I don't, but I can flail about a little bit around it. Abortion is clearly wrong. I don't think anybody debates that. You wouldn't recommend that someone that you love have one. Okay, now
that I disagree with, but the reason I wanted to play this is because legally, I think he does make a point about the legality.
That mere statement doesn't eliminate the complexity of the situation.
See, here I think he's making a good point about complexity. It is complex.
The first question is should everything wrong be illegal? That's a tough question.
That's the thing that I wanted to play. Should everything, like, okay, you think it's wrong. I don't even think it's wrong, obviously. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's like a tough situation and you do what you got to do. But I do think he makes a good point there.
I think it's a bad dichotomy. Like if someone is saying it is wrong 100% and someone else is saying it is not wrong, there are so many cases that it's clear that it's not easy to do that, right?
Yeah. No, you can't say.
So I think that's not the discussion, right? That shouldn't be the discussion if it's totally wrong or totally fine. It should be like where it is wrong and where it is not wrong and why. Let's say, for example, people say it's my body, my choice, right? For the choice people, I'm still like somewhat choice, but for the excuse, right? Or the reason is that it's my body, my choice. But that doesn't make sense, right? Because it means like you can do whatever, even like if it's like one day before giving birth, it's still in your body.
Right.
So what's the line
people
there?
doing that though? Is that a thing, or I don't know?
No, they give it that reason, but that maybe works if you're talking as like first. For me, first trimester, I don't find any problem. Like there are no nerves, no heart, nothing.
I think 87% of Americans. I saw a thing today. I can't find it anymore. I think like 87% of Americans are with you on that. That like as long as you do it, I think it might be first and a little bit extended. Maybe it's like 15 weeks or something. That people are like up to 15 weeks. It's just easier as a society. You don't have to agree with it, but easier to just let her decide. I think. Yeah. Is like 87%. Like.
And I think there should be the discussion should be there. Like where it becomes like human life, because otherwise, like from the conservative side, most people consider it human life. That's why they consider it murder, right? And even in the legal system, and most people like, let's say, in the like common sense, if you kill a pregnant woman, it's double murder. Or if you kill her fetus, like by accident or by intent, but she still doesn't die, it's still a murder. So is it a human being, and is the mother have like the only privilege to kill that human being, which is really weird, right? Because
her life is so tied up. I think Alicia was here on Sunday. She made a good point about this, where it's like your lives are tied up in a way too, where and like child mortality rates are, because of science, we're able to keep them down, and like the giving birth mortality rates too. I just feel like it's a tough situation. Let her figure it out, because if it's growing in her body, and it is already like without medical science, like mortality rates are pretty high, and both can die, the mom or the kid. And also the mom goes through a lot of like health issues too. Sometimes they do. So it's like they're making it. So I just feel like they're getting the direct sense of like, does this make sense or not? Like as a unit, they can say this doesn't make sense.
Makes sense. I agree with that. The only
but you're saying don't go past
don't go past like when you think it's alive and it starts as a human life. I don't think two like clumps of cells or whatever the first how many months is like, even you don't have even a heart or like nervous system. Consciousness cannot be like used as a reason, right? Because you have the same consciousness the day before you are born as the day after you are born. So consciousness doesn't mean anything. It just means you can kill the baby after it's born. It doesn't mean anything. So we can look at something like maybe the heart or something related to that.
That's interesting. It is. Yeah. It does seem like the amount of details we're willing to get into on this, though, like it does seem like with military stuff, with other stuff, like we're like the people that are so anti, like there's a guy in here called No Freedoms. He's basically like they're so gung ho, or like someone who goes to yell at someone while they're getting the abortion. Like it just seems like so much work to do for this. And like, do you think there's something else behind it? Is there like some kind of weird slut shaming or something, do you think? Or do you think that's just I'm projecting that or something? Or
probably from the people who say that the morning after pill, and since then it is already abortion, then those people just don't want people to have sex. I don't agree with those.
Yeah. That's what it is. They're like you're not allowed to have sex, basically, or like be like stop being just stop having sex and just doing it for fun, or like do it to have a child or something like that. Because that's what it comes down to. Then you can't drop a nut even. Here's the thing too. Where does it say in the Bible? Is the Bible does it specifically say that? Because I saw a thing where it was like the guy is having sex. This is like in the Bible, it's a story. He pulls out and comes on the ground, and after he comes on the ground, God kills him. And I've heard that that's the thing used as like, this is why we can never allow abortion. Do you know the Bible story, or is that the wrong? I don't know. Is that the right story?
No, actually, I don't have like Christian background, so I don't know exactly the story. But I get the idea. Most like religions and conservative people like don't want sex in general. Normal, right?
There is a sex shame. There's a sex shame. It's too bad because they would enjoy their lives more too if they were just like open about it. But instead they're like,
they don't even allow like sexual education, like protection and whatever, just so that kids don't get the idea of having sex, right? They want to keep them like pure, innocent.
Yeah, and then that's where all the like girls in high school get pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens? Like they take out sex ed as like, oh God, it'll give them ideas. And then it's like, they're fucking pregnant, you idiot. It's so backward. It just always backfires exactly like if you just didn't do anything, you'd be in a better spot. That's the thing. Like all this stuff about being strict with the daughters, I've seen so many Indian parents do it where they're like just so mean to the daughter. And then like the daughter can't get married. Like they're fucked up, man. Like you followed her around. When she was like 17, you put all this shame in her head. Like I remember like there's a woman, I was in a play and this woman was in it. Her husband left her, whatever, but she was like from India, very sexually repressed. Husband like just broke up with her, whatever. And she was in this play and someone said something about like, oh, maybe you can go on a date. And then she just started for like the rest of the day. She just started going, oh. She was doing it for like an hour. She couldn't stop. Like it was just like crack. Like the parent, it's so sexually repressed that it's like a spring goes off. She couldn't handle herself. It was so weird. But I've seen it happen to a lot of people. Yeah, where they just can't date and stuff, or like they just can't like leave the house, and it's like this is totally backfiring. Like now you have a daughter that isn't married at like, you know what I mean, and now they're embarrassed about that. So it's like first they're yelling at them like don't ever have sex, and then later they're like, why don't you have any kids?
Right.
That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
The times change, that they cannot like stay in the same mentality, like old mentality.
Yeah, man. You have a South American accent. Where are you from? Is that South American?
I am from North Africa. Now I don't live there anymore. I moved countries, but
Totally wrong. Totally wrong. I don't know why I thought. Yeah. Jax, thanks for coming, man. Anything else you want to tell us about that? Anything you want to promote?
I want to point out to I don't have any prisons. Okay. I want to respond to Zorro. He said that no one is doing one day before abortion. I just gave you an example of reasons that you cannot use because they apply after and before, right? That's the thing. I'm not saying that that like everyone is doing one day before the birth abortions, because that doesn't happen. And maybe like I think it's 99% before in the first 2 trimesters. It's 90 something, not 99%.
No, I think that's why Donald Trump.
trimesters.
Yeah, totally. I think that's why Donald Trump is saying like it's a bad thing to do right now, because most conservatives don't even agree with it. Because any like it really is like a radicalized subset or something. I think it's like 13% of people. That's it. But it's so weird.
And one thing as well, like we just like we need maybe to shift the discussion a little bit. Like for example, if we say abortion is all wrong and abortion is all, like we know why people say all of abortion is wrong. It's religious background. They don't want sex in the beginning. Like, so and people who say everything is fine, they are just countering that. It shouldn't be everything is fine, and it shouldn't be everything is not fine. We should have the discussion more in depth a little bit, right? That's something.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, that's what we're doing here, man. We're bringing the people on. We're having the discussion. Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it.
No
I'm gonna bring on Jay. He's in the waiting room. Yeah, thanks for listening, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Have a nice day, guys. Bye.
Wow, Jax from North Africa. Jay, what's up? Jay, you've been on before. Jay, what's up, man? How you doing?
I've been on before. I'm a long-time drip listener, man.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What happened to that other guy? Remember that guy who had ulcerative colitis? He's gone now.
Oh,
Applejack?
Yeah, Applejack.
What happened to Applejack? Applejack's gone.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope he's all right. Yeah.
I hope he's all right. I hope he's not mad that we weren't like so anti, because sometimes I wonder if my if I'm not hardline enough and people are like, fucking this guy. No, but he was such a nice guy. Let's just watch this clip real quick. This is where I think some of the propagandizing comes from.
The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this, because God will not be mocked. And when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies, we make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen. Well, I totally concur.
Wow. Yeah, this is a great thing I found from Chode Munch. What a great channel too. So much good stuff on here. But dude, actually.
So what's up? Have you been like caught up in the abortion debate? Like, has it been on your mind a lot?
Yeah. I mean, I just did a deep dive on some old Clarence Thomas stuff. It's so wild, man. What a weird. It's just so sad for American politics too, though, that like Clarence Thomas, what a sellout. And now he's talking about gay rights and everything. And it's like, you came in like as an activist, but yeah, no, I saw this great thing where Anita Hill, so there's like an old case of his where someone that worked for him was saying that he assaulted her, or like he was basically trying to like make everyone have sex with him who worked there, all the women. And what was the thing? Oh, so in the case, the lawyer who was defending Anita Hill, he was saying that white women knew that it was wrong what he did. White men mostly knew it was wrong what he did. Black women knew it was wrong what he did, but black men, we just couldn't get him. They just were like, nah, I'm with Clarence. Fuck that. It's like Grand Ramsey OJ Simpson too, where it's like,
yeah,
every black guy. But I'm shocked to see like how much of a scene there is of like black conservatives. Do you see that at all, or like are you?
Yeah. So funny thing is, well, I hate putting labels on things. I'm not conservative, but I definitely have conservative views, and
right.
I know so many African Americans that do it, and not even only African Americans, like just minorities in general. Even from like where I'm from in Northern Virginia, we're a really diverse area. We have so many Hispanics, so many people from Southern Asia, everywhere, and a lot of them really are conservative in some way. But our area is mostly moderate, and I think everyone's really moderate. And everyone has conservative views, everyone has liberal views. And when you really talk to people, and this is one thing with abortion, and when you talk to someone, specifically with the abortion, and this is referring to really like what I forgot who the first caller was, but he brought really good views.
That was a good view. That was smart.
And
His was smart, and his is one that I think most conservatives agree with. I think most conservatives, and that's why Trump is like, this is not going to be good for us as a Republican, because most conservatives are like, the most logical thing is just keep it as local,
right,
which is the woman. Just like let her figure it out, or keep it on her city level. And then you can just drive over a city. Jesus. It's so petty when they're like, oh, and we're not going to let you drive across state lines. It's like, just cool it. What a waste of time. You're going to check on when people leave the state? Crazy.
So like what's crazy, like this is like the opposite. So like, you know, when conservatives found out, like when teachers were teaching, well, not they weren't teaching their children, but like about like LGBTQ stuff, and they're like, oh, they're teaching them how to be gay, and like they're going like they want to teach them how to be like,
what do you think of that stuff?
They're just doing the reverse now with abortion, is saying like, oh, now let's ban everything, like now that because we got our way. Like it's like, really,
I know you're the groomer, man. I mean, they're saying that like these teachers are grooming. It's like, no, they're just saying, hey, if you feel like you might be gay, that's okay, and I still love you. And these guys are like, groomer. It's like, you gotta tell a kid that. I mean, what if they're growing up feeling like they might be gay, and they're gonna feel like shit? You can't just leave them in an environment. Like when I was in India, dude, it's so wrong what they used to do. Because they would just harass kids for being gay. Like when we're 12, when we're like 14, and it messes people up, man. It's not good for the kid. It's like, you're not helping your society doing something like that. You know, like you want to create a more welcoming environment. And then, as soon as they do something nice, all these, it is the Ben Shapiro crew. Like they're just like, groomer, keep your hands off my kids. And it's like,
I think mainstream is it's just mainstream politics in general. They're just hyper polarizing everything, because I think people, what they don't realize, this is actually sort of a good thing, with kind of like what the first people saying with this agreement with overturning Roe. And the reason why is because, so first, where are you seeing like most of the people like complaining about and protesting everywhere? They're doing it really in liberal cities like DC, California, New York, Illinois. And with those places, their abortion is not going to go away, like especially if it goes back to the states, because they're going to vote for it. Like that's what they want. And when you think about it more deeply, so what I feel bad for, and this is where like the abortion is kind of sticky, is when places where you get to like Texas and Florida, like with the other caller who was on, where she was like how she feels bad now because in her state, that's mostly Republican, but they have a lot of liberals in that state. Where they do want to get abortions. And so that's where it's messy. But when you go to like a pretty conservative state like Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, they don't even have abortion clinics. They only have like probably less than 5 in general, like right now already. So if they vote, and the majority of the population in that state doesn't even want it. So if they vote for that themselves in their state, that's kind of fine, because that's what they want.
Imagine you go in Montana, they're like, oh, you want an abortion? 8-month waiting list.
Like it is really like that.
Kids gonna be born by then.
Right. So the it's actually sort of a good thing when it comes to like people actually getting to decide what they want, because this is actually gives it back to the people. And like the person said in the first call, then we can take it back to the local communities, and then we get to pick them for ourselves.
That makes sense. It's the most efficient too, and it's such a waste of time to get in everyone's business and try to stop it. It's like, why like this?
Right. And also and everyone, and like you said before, I think you were right about that percentage where 87% of people are fine with abortions when like in the first trimester. And not even only that, so many people are fine with people when they get raped or incest, or they're totally fine with you getting an abortion with that. What you see happening though is when people start deciding about people who are like 4 to 5 months pregnant, or to 6 months, the longer you keep going and asking people, then more people start to drop off where they don't agree with abortion, like the later the kid gets into life. And so that's where it's like pretty sticky, because a lot of people have a disagreement on where they want to like end the line of So
and also because like conservatives are so extreme, then like some liberals are extreme, and they're like don't appease them. I don't care. I want no exceptions. It's actually what like Zora was saying earlier, that like nobody's getting an abortion the day before,
right?
Or like 8 months in, nobody's really statistically getting the abortion. But it's almost one of those things where you start fighting for the fight has become so petty and so technical that they're just doing that to be like, just because you can't just fight for the rights you deserve. You almost got to cross it a bit. You got to be a radical. You got to do
Exactly.
it. Because if you don't go past, then the powers that be, they're not going to give you exactly how much, you can't just ask for exactly what you deserve. You have to ask for more, and then the negotiation comes back at like what you actually get. So I think that's what's happening, which is sad because the culture is definitely polarized and like fighting over it.
Right. So I'm gonna send you a link, and this is kind of like what I'm talking about, because I'm fairly pro-choice. And
yeah,
I think women should have an abortion. But when you go on like place, so this is like a Reddit link, and you're going to see like people right here, and this is the problem with it. Like they're gonna put, I think this is like the first picture you see. Like there's like a dude with this child, and standing up saying like, oh, like this is my child, but I have a choice whether I can have him or not. Like that's
my daughter deserves the right to choose.
Well, yeah. So this one, and there's another one. Hold up, that's.
How come they don't care about like war stuff this much, or like other like poverty and like there's all this other stuff that you could do,
Yeah, no, so many people online. I'm trying to find like the main post.
Reddit pics.
This isn't the main post. Sorry, I'm trying to find the main one, but
that's so cute though. His daughter, that's very cute. But
right.
Like it's so weird how they get so emotional about it. Like when you're starting to take the kids, it's like take your kids to a museum.
Exactly.
What are you doing? It's Sunday. You're gonna take your kid to the abortion rally. It's a lot. Like why don't just let your kid? You're born here. You're like I remember I used to hate that when I was growing up. Like I always had to go to some cultural activities. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I want to just watch cartoons or just go party or go hang out, whatever. And it's like it is so conservative, I guess, to just be like, nope, we gotta go. Excuse me, what you did is wrong. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's just really once everything gets hyper polarized and people. Yeah, no, you don't have to keep scrolling. It's just gonna show up.
Oh, right.
But I was just showing like that's just like one popular page on Reddit. Like so many where it's not even politicized. So many people are just bringing it into the area for no reason, and they're bringing their kids involved. And
it is very petty.
It's just turning. People aren't looking at like what's really wrong and what's actually really right. They're just going to the hyper extremes of it. When you see, because I have friends like well, you don't know me, I'm pretty young. I'm only 22 and I'm still in college. And I have friends who went to DC and they were like acting like they were crying like abortion's over, like women are going to be forced into pregnancy. And it's like, that's not what this is about. And they're kind of like taking a different view on it. And the view that they should be looking at is like what the person said at the first call, really, how could this benefit you and the states and people actually getting to choose what they want? Because this is actually a good thing in your state, really.
I think the efficiency argument is probably the best argument. And the libertarian kind of efficiency argument is probably the best. But it is so wild how petty they get. I remember years ago, I was trying to do this sketch where it's like the girl, there's like one woman who runs the town. It's a conservative town. And then someone gets the abortion. And then every year, like years later, they go, hey, Jenny, make sure you, my son Tyler's having a birthday on Saturday. Make sure you bring your son. Oh, never mind. You murdered him because you don't love God. Bye now. And they're just like so mad at each other. It's like, why do you remember? Like, who cares? But they're just always like trying to like, there is this like insult to like, you did something wrong or you did something irresponsible. And I feel like they're moving on that almost. It's too emotional. It's like too emotional. It's not like a good, logically thought out thing.
Right. So did you see this picture I sent in can you pull it up real quick?
Oh, there's another one? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, 6. So, okay, hold on.
Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking, and this was like a post I wanted to bring up, really, and this is like what people are against. Even liberals are against this because this is like this is what PEC, like this is what pro-choice people are doing to kind of persuade people, but it's the wrong message. Like this, if you're pro-choice, you shouldn't be standing up for it. And she writes like this on her stomach, saying like "not yet human," and this is kind of where they're taking it to the extreme, and this is where it's kind of helping like pro-lifers saying like, look, you see, this is exactly what abortionists are doing, and they want to just kill kids, but this isn't true.
Yeah. Can I show you something? It's like it kind of reminds me of like, well, it's almost like people are just, we polarize each other,
right?
And like one side almost has to go as far as the other side,
right?
I don't know. I don't know if this actually will show it, but see, this is like a chart of like human consciousness chart. And it's basically like what they say is that we're all like this ultimate consciousness. And then we're coming down here and we're pretending that we're not one. We're all one and we're all supposed to love each other. But it from one of the things that they teach in this whole thing is that like when you get to the bottom levels of this, when you're just like in like a negative space, I guess, or like when you're in a fight with someone, it's almost like a rule. They have to go as far as you go because we are all one. I don't know if this makes sense to bring up this.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Like this is, yeah, it's kind of what they teach. Like, it's like the ego's built on like, cause we're all that one energy. So in order for you to go this way, someone else has to go this way. Is somewhere else in the world. It's like a magical energy that makes us alive. It's also like correcting that in real time or something.
Right. I do think there is that, like in a way, like that's what. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, people are just lost, and like people say that the lower you are, the less like of the full energy that's coming in. So you're getting less and less, and you see less and less of the world. So you start seeing people as your enemies. You start seeing people as like a bad person who did something stupid. Versus like, like why wouldn't you just go and help them? That's so ridiculous that you wouldn't just be like, hey, do you need a hand? Versus, yeah, that's wrong. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I think just people need to. Again, this is just another like internet political topic that's just getting people riled up away from stuff that really matters, I think.
But this, I do got to watch this clip.
What's this?
This is a Ginny Thomas. And let me just read this comment real quick. Sarah999. Clarence Thomas's wife was a member of Mindspring called Lifespring? It's actually Lifespring. And we had on Sunday, we had an episode called Cult Rehab. And we had Ashley on. Alicia Ashley on, and she's the daughter of the guy who made Lifespring.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a cult.
Check that out.
Oh, dude, it's a Sunday episode. The shit that this guy did to her. Oh my god, they kicked the kids out like at like 13. They were like out of the house, but he made Lifespring, and right now he is. It's so sad. We pulled up his website. It's pathetic. I think his website was called excitingpeople.com or extraordinarypeople.com, and it's just about him. It's like his own website.
So he's still doing this cult? Like it's still around?
Buddy, it's such the saddest story. This is it.
Oh, like the Jehovah's Witness stories. Like, that got me so sad with the interviews that you did with them.
I know, yeah, those are sad. This one's pretty bad too, but this one's like less. It's more like just sad. So this is his website, extraordinarypeople.com. It's just a website to sell him. This is him. Oh, wait, let's see him. This is the guy who started Lifespring.
Oh, he's a coach. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like you know what it is? It's called, we had a guy on last week too, Anand, who was in a large group awareness call. Like, it's basically like a human.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I was watching the episode.
Yeah. This is the, can you see this?
Yeah,
Hello.
I can see it.
I'm Robert White, founder of Extraordinary People, author and executive coach.
This is the guy. This guy made Lifespring. And then he just it was making bank back in the day. Kind of reminds me of like, but this is what you get. Sinners don't prosper, people. Sinners don't prosper. This guy made a fucking cult. He's got 8 kids. They all hate him. Like, none of them will talk to them. I think he has to start hitting them for money now. Like, he's so screwed.
My god.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a sad. Like, this is not working, dude. I think he's charging like $30 an hour. It's not working. But let's just watch this quick clip of Ginny Thomas, and I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, check this out. This is Ginny Thomas. This is so weird.
Ginny Thomas, big figure in right-wing activism, who reportedly pushed to try to overturn the results of the legitimate 2020 election, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, and self-identified cult member turned anti-cult activist, ?
But now she's in Q, I think, or she believes in Q.
Yeah, that piece of the story back in the time of Jazzercise, Duran back in the 80s.
That's her.
Ginny Thomas, you see her in 1986 on your screen, realized her involvement with the group Lifespring was problematic. Lifespring, remember, advertised training seminars to help participants unlock almost superhuman potential. Then she was apparently what's called deprogrammed, a controversial way to unlearn what she picked up at Lifespring. After this, Thomas became an anti-cult crusader, even helping out with workshops for congressional staffers to fight groups.
Oh, they're in love.
The one she'd been a part of. With that background, people who knew her back then are scratching their heads now, telling us they don't get how Thomas reconciles that past with some beliefs she's got in common with QAnon today, with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle calling QAnon itself a cult. NBC News reached out to both Ginny Thomas and Justice Clarence Thomas. Neither responded. I want to bring in now the NBC News political reporter who's the guidelines on that story, Alan Smith, who worked on this along with our Alex Seitzwald. Alan, we're glad to have you on. Talk to us a little bit about your reporting, what you based it on.
That is so weird, though, dude. Like, she apparently she was there on January 6th. Like, she went to the protest and she was part of it. She was like, let's go. This election's bullshit. 100% Trump supporter, man. No. People are saying that Clarence Thomas should recuse himself of it, of like basically has to like denounce it or something, or like he's not allowed to work on that case or something like that. But it's crazy how corrupt they've become. The Supreme Court, it's bullshit, dude. It is such a political appointment now.
Yeah, it's like I always agreed with I never agreed with the whole life like the life term they get, but I do agree that they should get like the largest like term out of everyone in the political office, because that's their roles to like review the courts, and they're supposed to be like the main stable branch of the system that like never like that's why they get that life term, because it's supposed to be like a life position. They're supposed to have the same core values and everything, but yeah, now you said they turn corrupt now, really. Like they're
so corrupt, man.
Like so I've always been they should never get a life term. Like I don't agree with that, but I think they should maybe get probably like 20 years. Like I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But never a life term. They stayed there for like more than like 4 decades. Like really, they stayed there till they die. Really, like that's what they do.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Yeah. But I think really at the end, well, you're Canadian, so you're not going to really deal with it. You're going to probably get over this in like a week or something. But
this is this is a big deal over there. Like people are really upset about it. I mean, of course, rightfully, it makes sense.
I just think really like what people should take out of this is they should just get into politics more, but get into it in a different way than how they're seeing it now. Because people like especially with younger people, how they're getting into politics isn't right. People are just like automatically going into the extremes or getting into super controversial takes like right from the beginning. They're not even learning the basic things, and I don't think like that's right. And it's not leading them to like a right path into how they think. Like a lot of people think like, oh, America's like so corrupt, like we're the worst country in the world, like we're like so like terrible, but like it's not really good. Like America could be a better place, but we just have to make a change. Like,
no, America's incredible. It's a great success story. Life is fragile, it's tough, and like America really killed it. They're doing great. This I think is really a step back though. Like this is
definitely
a step back to like being less of a advanced country, and just hurts them regardless of what, like, it's just not efficient and bad for the country overall. Like you got to be moving closer to God. You got to be doing bad. You know, that's why it's a big sin what they've done. They think they're righteous, but they are the biggest sinners, man. That's what always happens. That's why they want these positions of power. They want to go and control things and tell people what to do. It's so fucked up. But it's too bad, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, what can I do about it? I can only just put my vote in and say my opinions, but
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was great talking to you, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Peace. Yo, come back. Sick. That is Jay. He's been on a couple of times. Sarah, Ginny Thomas paid for the buses to bus all the January 6th people in. Sarah, true? Is this a true story? This is so wild. You see that? No freedoms? This is the kind of wackadoos that believe in your anti-abortion shit. It's bullshit. But yeah, I think that's everyone. I gotta go soon. Is there anyone you could name? I don't know who is. Oh, I think that's that. You know what? Let's leave this one up. You know what? I'm going to show a quick clip of something, and then I'm going to get out of here. This is great, though. This rap.
Okay, on paper. I don't want to start a beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly. My beats.
Wait, can you guys see this? Can everyone see this? This is amazing.
It's sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
It's going further and further. Has anyone else seen this? Has anyone else seen it? Oh, you've seen it before. What a silly video. I didn't know it was that much. I just saw the first part. Jesus, they made like a whole rhyme out of it. Yo, thanks for coming, everyone. Appreciate it. Damn, look at me. I thought I found something special, and you guys are like, I've seen it. But it is, I mean, you just can't write that. That's amazing. It's so weird how things just go viral in their own bubbles now. I don't know what normal viral stuff is. But yo, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Listen, if you still are one of these, I hope you had a good discussion. I hope we convinced you. I hope we convinced you a little bit. I hope it's a little more chill. I hope you're not like angry and want to go fight. I hope that we can come together as a culture and as a community, because we shouldn't be doing this. It's too bad that we've done this. You know how I feel about it, but I also do feel like we got to come together as a culture and as a community. I'm going to play this last. I'm going to play our track right here. There we go. That's it. Look, ultimately, we got to be joyful in the community, people. We got to raise the vibration, people. We got to raise it. You know what I'm saying? We can't spend our time on these bitternesses, these negativities. And hopefully hopefully this triggers the love revolution that we need. Because apparently that's the whole game. The whole game is to raise the vibration. And I like how someone made this vibration chart with the numbers so you can know exactly where you are. Honestly though, I gotta say, yeah, like if you're hard anti and mad about it all the time, I gotta say, it's gotta be low vibration. It's gotta be low vibration. You gotta raise it up, people. Raise the vibration. You know what I'm saying? We got to get closer and closer to God, not go backwards into society. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully this will inspire us for the future. Rogue Nerd says, thanks for the chat. Rogue, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. Yeah, great chatting with you. And it's great to hear, like, even just to know, like, what you've gone through and stuff like that. It's crazy. We got to hear more about that. This is where our life comes from, people. And we don't even know anything about it. It's just like another thing that people do, you know, like it's another whole thing of life that we don't think about. We don't talk about. We just brush it under the rug, you know, but it's like, it's really important. Reproductive rights. That's where life comes from, people. That's where life is made. Thanks again for coming. Urana Brew is here. Thanks, Urane. Zorro is here. Been chatting it up, Zorro. Jay Gabriel, what's up? Please, Morton, hello. No Freedoms has been trying to get people riled up. Trying to get the people riled up, but we have a very loving community, and it's not going to work. Gorguru guy's here. Gorguru guy, thanks for coming in. Make sure you are dancing in life. Look at that. I like that I made this checklist. Very important checklist. Like, subscribe, notification bell, be joyful in life, and dance. And honestly, I haven't started dancing yet. I'm going to add that to my morning routine. I think every morning now I'm doing one dance. That's it. Every morning, one dance. Jax, thanks for coming on. Sarah, appreciate the super chat. You are loved. Jax J came on, full hard propagandist. Thank you. Dennis Wynn is here. We got Fry Media Limited is here. We got a lot of people. Turnips is here. Dennis is here. Demand Dork. We never got Demand Dork on, but Demand Dork is also here. Thanks for coming. And remember, everyone, you are loved and loving kindness. We'll see you on Sunday. Sunday, got a great guest for Call Rehab. Very exciting show coming up.